Okay, are we in a good place? I think we're good. Mic check 1 2 1 2. I am so excited. So this is day 2, and something I want to say to you before we get deep is before you can rebuild, you have to get honest about what changed you in the first place. So, this video is titled The Pre-Work That I Did to Help Me Stay Grounded Right Now, essentially after heartbreak even. I have my notes. I don't want to miss being able to touch on certain points and share this with you. And I have my visitor, Cardi, my puppy, in the background. So, this, I realized this has been like an 8-year foundation for me that I have built through my journey of life, having gone through many challenges of heartbreak, unfortunately, going through heartbreak, not even just in a relationship sense, which has been disappointing in different phases and stages, but as a breast cancer survivor, navigating that journey and navigating, levels deeper of when my son passed away during my pregnancy as a stillborn. So I'd say you may hear me use the word toolbox a lot because I think over time, when you go through those heavy things in your life, you do start to build a legit toolbox of stuff. So when something sticky, something icky comes up, a past fear comes up, something that, you held on to as your truth when you were going through survival mode, when that comes up, you can legit open this toolbox and be like, all right, what do I need right now? Like, what do I need today? I remember growing up, my dad had in the garage this big red Craftsman toolboxes. My dad, was so handy. He used to work on cars and he used to fix anything and everything around the house. So he just had so many tools. He had to keep them organized and structured. He had tools in that I think it's called a Craftsman tool box. And then we had a bunch of tools throughout the garage that were on pegboards hanging up. He had stuff in other little mini boxes. Everything was labeled. Everything was organized. Everything had a home and a place. And that just makes me think of, okay, when life starts lifing, no matter what it is, a job layoff, a relationship ending, a diagnosis, what are the tools that you have been able to build to put in your toolbox, and do you know where they are? Can you grab them and assess, like, okay, this is what I need for this is what I need for this, and this is what I need for this, as your emotions come up, as thoughts try to come up, as like past fears try to come up of when you were living in survival mode. So I think a part of doing the work, we hear people say that so much. I remember years back, I used to hear people say that, and I'm like, what are they talking about? But I think most folks, when they say that right now, it means like journaling, it means like praying, it means like watching a few self help videos. It means so many different things, bubble baths and self care. And not to say that that's not a part of it, because that is a layer that's a part of doing the work, but there's so many layers to it. I think the real work, the kind of work that you can do that really helps like sustain you through disappointments, it's built over years. It's that messy stuff that everyone doesn't see online. They don't always see the crying moments and the deep, thick, heavy stuff that you're really working through. I think that real work is the work that leads you to emotional regulation. It's the work that leads you to not self-abandoning, because you've realized and been able to identify when that comes up for you and what that looks like when it does come up, and how to love yourself back to wellness, back to yourself, like love yourself back to yourself. So it's like, all right, when life starts lifing, when you unexpectedly go through a breakup, when you thought something was so great and so good, and I mean, even a layer beyond, like just so aligned, and your heart feels the heaviness because you're human. We're human. We're going to feel the pain, the hurts, the disappointments. The work don't protect you from that, but it helps guide you. So when those moments come up, you can like open that toolbox and be like, all right, I need this to help me with this thing. I need this to help me with this. Like, all right, I'm feeling like I'm replaying stories in my head. I have fears of abandonment. Like, so now you can kind of identify and like call it out to give yourself the love that you need in that moment. And this is the beauty, that joy and grief can coexist together. I learned that over time. I realized that I can cry in this moment and feel the natural emotions that this moment brings for me because I'm grieving the absence of a person, the absence of a friend, the absence of an experience. You know, going to Kroger ain't the same like it was, a couple weeks ago. It feels a little different now. Buying my favorite juices feel different now. I can honor that grief in that moment when that comes to me. And I can also realize that the joy that I'm working towards, honestly, the joy that I do have, that I'm just like dusting off, is available to me too. And the joy can also come to me in the form of the tools that I've built, because now, instead of me crashing out, instead of me spiraling, I may do a little whoop whoop, but instead of as heavy as it could have been, it is more grounded and more managed in that way. So I know I mentioned like just getting to the root. I think this is the work that most people skip because it's not cute, it's not sexy, it's not comfortable, it's lonely, it can feel isolating, it can feel gloomy, like there's just a cloud over you that doesn't leave. But I'm telling you, like, this pre-work that is helping me stay grounded even right now today, I am so grateful. I'm so grateful to have it, and I'm so grateful I've done it. So I've been using this word lately, excavation. Doing this, getting to the root, feels like that. It feels like an emotional excavation because it leaves you to kind of ask yourself, like, why do I respond this way? Why am I thinking these thoughts? Why am I creating like this story? Them not texting me doesn't mean this. It just means this, like really deep down pinpointing where that came from. And when you understand where that came from, I don't think that you so much need to like marinate on the where more than you do the why, because then when it comes up in the future, you can identify it and you can speak to it, and then you can like call it out and continue to just like work through it in the moment, and it just makes you ask yourself, like, what part of you is still unhealed? What belief is actually running that decision that you're making for yourself in the moment? So getting to the root is what helps you not to take these disappointments personally, not to internalize someone else's confusion, someone else's issues. And I know naturally it's not always easy to like take on that mindset, right? Because disappointment sucks, yo. Like, what? And listen, I'll pull out a Bible verse in a minute because my faith is what grounds me too. And my faith, along with reality, will tell me, like, this sucks. Like, what the heck? I'm not happy about this at all. I'm not happy with this decision. I don't agree with it. Like, I don't like feeling like this. But understanding that root cause helps me not to internalize and take the disappointment so personally, right? Like, and not create a story of what actually happened or what actually was said to me, or, just things along those lines too. So I think too, this tea is so good, y'all. It's like Harvey and something tea is so good. Most people tend to think they're dealing with heartbreak, which in reality, that could be the trigger of the situation. Something could have happened or changed that created the heartbreak to come about. Most people tend to think that they're solely dealing with the heartbreak when they're really dealing with something deeper. A deep layer may be fear of abandonment. A deep layer may be unaddressed rejection wounds. A deep layer may be the identity or the fantasy or the dream that you had that was attached or tied to the outcome of this situation coming forth. The deep layer could be codependency patterns. A much deeper extended layer could be survival thinking, because so many people, so many of us have lived in survival mode for such a long time. I mean, in my 3 years of going through breast cancer, I was diagnosed in 21. I finished my last like treatment, surgery, everything in 23. And then I moved back home to my parents' house to process like what the hell just happened. In 24, I felt like 3 years of my life was on pause. But in that season of coming back home, driving 12 hours, packing up my apartment, not renewing my lease, getting my puppy in the car, and just driving home to be home to think, in that whole season, pretty much the whole year, I did not realize how thick I was in survival mode. I mean, I had to think like, when was I not in survival mode? What year was that? And how did that feel? Like when you're just trying to make it, when you're trying to keep your head afloat, trying to keep it above ground, when you are slightly in a dither and you're just like, I don't know what the heck is happening, but I'm here, Lord. You woke me up again. All right. And another one. Like, that's just how it can really feel. Alexa, stop. God bless her. She's getting a little too jazzy. So yeah, all of those things when we're going through heartbreak, typically it is heartbreak in addition to the abandonment, the fear, the survival patterns, the thinking, like things like that too. So your root work is going to keep, it just helps keep your emotions from like hijacking the moment, if that makes sense. So there's so much deeper layers I can go with this, but I just wanted to share that because for anyone right now, I mean, I know Thanksgiving is tomorrow. It's a sensitive time. It's a sensitive season. Life is sensitive. Life is heavy and hard right now. People are going through a lot. And it's like, even myself included, with the things that I'm navigating. This year has been such a influx of a year, but I just wanted to share that to continue to give you hope, and find joy. And as you're trying to get back home to yourself, start to think, what tools do I need for my toolbox that can keep me grounded, that keep me calm, that help me come back home to myself? Because those micro habits are what transitions you into the next thing. It's not like, oh, this breakup happened, and a week later I'm just forcing myself into this new woman, and I'm forcing myself into work and forcing myself into productivity and launching this and creating this and blah blah blah. No, it's the micro habits of being mindful and intentional, of taking out the time to do the work. Do your journaling, your prayers in combination with the deep, messy stuff, because we want this toolbox to not just be the thing that gets us through this moment. We want it to actually get us through our life. Like, that's the goal. So, I'm excited y'all were here. If you haven't already checked out yesterday's video, I'll put that here for you to be able to check out. I am also going to tag Glow in this video. She's someone that I've thoroughly enjoyed following and has like triggered this inspiration in me to do 100 days of YouTube and just start to put out here what I know and what I'm learning. And just sharing with other people as they're going through life in their journey. So I'm going to tag her because y'all will find a lot of joy in her page and the information that she shares about her journey of life and just so many different things. So anyhow, I hope you guys take care. I hope you have a beautiful Thanksgiving. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. And let me know what landed for you today with this video. Let me know if you've already started creating your toolbox. Let me know what you have in your toolbox. I look forward to hearing it. So, all right, y'all, take care. The millennial peace sign. I don't know if we'll ever stop doing that.